Hey guys, this is our new friend that we met here at Meteor Crater near Winslow, Arizona.
And we're searching for Jeff Bridges, the Starman.
And we might find him, and we saw a whole lot more on this episode
of Roaming with Rosie.
Hello again and welcome aboard. Commander Perseus, any last minute orders before departure?
Nah, Jackie. I think our crew is ready and excited to get going. Folks, prepare for takeoff.
Driving across the high desert plains of northern Arizona on a sunny day is incredible. Red soil with green scrub against an azure sky dotted with white puffy clouds. We exited the I-10 freeway west of Winslow, Arizona, and headed south. Our destination today, Meteor Crater Natural Landmark. There's a NASA connection to the crater. During the 1960s and 70s, NASA astronauts trained in the crater to prepare for the Apollo missions to the moon, and it's still used to this day for ongoing astronaut field training. Included in the admission is a tour on the rim of the crater. While we waited for our guided tour, we watched a 15-minute feature film in their widescreen movie theater.
To give you an idea how fast that is, if you were to get on an airplane in LA, you would arrive in New York in 5 minutes.
Our meeting point for the rim tours is next to the largest fragment ever discovered of the 150-foot meteor that created this crater.
How long ago was this?
50,000 years ago.
50,000 years, okay.
But the meteorite itself being 6.56 billion years
Right.
old. Some people say it came north to south, others say it came east to west. But most people speculate north to south just because if you look on the south rim, you can see juniper trees. Those juniper trees being a little over 700 years old, being both male and female organisms, meaning they're able to live off the same energy and reproduce themselves. So what you're standing on right now is supposed to be at the bottom of the crater.
The tour is dependent of the weather. During the summer, fast-moving monsoon storms with lightning often disrupt the tours. So they're monitoring. We're within 10 miles of the storm we have to go in because the meteorite acts as a lightning rod because of the metal, the iron deposits and stuff down in here. Unfortunately for us, the lightning got too close, so back inside we went. Inside the Discovery Center are plenty more activities to keep us occupied until we could go back outside. The Discovery Center has interactive exhibits about meteorites, asteroids, comets, and space.
Hurricane force winds threw 175 million tons of material in all directions.
Feel the wind.
The shock of impact melted most of the meteor and spread it with the large plume of debris. It took just 10 seconds and Meteor Crater was formed.
Please patch her through, Jackie.
STS Barringer, this is your flight director at Mission Control. You've been cleared for takeoff in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Jackie, first stop.
We really enjoyed the immersive 4D theater experience with seats that shake and make you feel that you're part of the flight down into the crater and out into space to change the course of an incoming meteor.
All right, crew. It's up to us. Let's catch up to that asteroid, Jackie.
Eventually, we were able to return outside to explore views from different lookout points along the crater's rim. So the nice thing is, they have all these observation decks and there's no charge to use the telescopes. This crater is considered to be the best preserved meteorite crater on Earth. It's now thought that the meteor struck at a speed of 29,000 miles per hour. Most of the meteor was most likely vaporized on impact, which was equal to 10 megatons of TNT. These are like memorials. There's a really nice gift shop, so be sure to stop by and check it out. Entry is $29 for adults with discounts for kids over age 5, seniors, and military.
We headed back to our campsite at Homolovi State Park in Winslow, Arizona. We've stayed at several Arizona state parks, and all of them feature large campsites that blend into the natural environment. Homolovi State Park's campground did not disappoint, other than the issue of the hookups being on the opposite side of where most RVs, at least in the United States, need to connect.
So it's a really nice campsite. It's 82 feet. The only problem is, for all of these, the hookups are on the wrong side. One trailer up there, they turn theirs around, but it's definitely a one-way road. There's signs in the way that most of the sites angle. It's just kind of weird that they put the hookups on the wrong side. Luckily, we've got long enough electric and hose to reach, because we couldn't, even if we had turned around, we would have been sticking out in the road to try to hook up to that. You can see there's not enough room, so we would have been sticking out there to try to hook up here.
But this made it so that we exited our door and had a view of the landscape instead of the campsite next to ours.
One thing that's kind of weird here at Homolovi is that all the gates to seeing the different ruins and things like that, everything closes at 5 o'clock in the summertime, where the sun's going to stay up till probably like 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30, but still at 5 o'clock everything's closed. And it's just like when it cooled down enough to go out and see stuff and go hiking.
To help you decide which campsite works best for you, we shot some video and pictures to share with you. Homolovi no longer allows you to show up and self-pay for available campsites. Reservations need to be made online or by calling the state park's reservation team in advance. Same-day reservations can be made at the visitor center in person or by calling the park office at 928-289-4106 by 4:45 p.m.
I'd like to welcome everyone, the visitors coming to Homolovi. It is a very important Hopi ancestral site. In our history, it has a great story, a great tradition, and so I hope that you can enjoy your stay here in Homolovi.
There are 4 major pueblos among the 300 archaeological sites that have been discovered mostly buried here at Homolovi. 2 of the historic pueblo sites are open to the public. We begin our tour with Homolovi 2, which is the furthest site from the campground. There's a half-mile long paved trail into the largest of the archaeological sites here. Homolovi in Hopi means place of the little hills. There are actually many villages here that are buried beneath the earth and the sand. Archaeologists with the Hopi Tribe, Arizona State Parks, and University of Arizona believe that up to 2,000 people lived here about 700 years ago. Those people are the ancestors of the Hopi, and the Hopi tribal members consider Homolovi a sacred site. All of these holes here that you can see, they're all from vandalism. Before this became a protected state park, in the 1960s, they actually, the Hopis actually found people excavating with backhoes through burial sites and anywhere they thought they might find something that would have any value. And that was what started the work of making this a state park. It looks to me by the shape of a lot of these rocks that these were walls around here at some point. The way that they've landed kind of stacked. That's what it looks like to me. Like there probably was a building going all the way up here. I don't know if you can hear that, probably not through my mic, but we can hear the wild donkeys that we saw driving up here. They're pretty far from here, but their sound is carrying across the prairie and up this hill. Here, this is the layout. This was vandalized. Oh, this one's 19 by 32. Oh my gosh, I've never seen one out in the wild before. I hope that'll record. It says a bobcat was right here at the bottom of this little hill when we walked up the sidewalk. This is a pretty cool little trail here. Nice, you can take a wheelchair if you need to. Electric scooter. They made it so that you can get around here pretty good. If the sun was out for a little bit earlier when I checked in at the park's office. And then you could see all the pink colors coming out of this, but you need the sun to be able to see out that way. You can see all the pink and everything. It's pretty much the color that they made the sidewalk. So you can see all these flat rocks all around here, and they're not out there, they're all right here. So this is obviously where all the walls were for these structures. Here's a piece of the pottery that you can find on the ground here. There's all different pieces in here. Note the caution, venomous reptiles. So Boo Loop Trail. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. The ranger told me if we did anything to come do this trail, because there's some petroglyphs. We didn't see the petroglyphs, but instead we were supervised by a couple of small bands of wild burros. Oh my God. They're like posing for a picture. Don't know if that's petroglyphs up there or not. I can't really zoom in much better. It's the only thing that looks like it could be, but I don't know, could be bat dung. So far, in just some little bit of following trails, one of them even paved, we've seen a bobcat, we've seen 2 groups of donkey families, we've seen jackrabbits, lizards, and maybe some petroglyphs, and a lot of pottery shards that are like 500 years old, 600 years old. Incredible. Pretty cool. Okay. Hey, buddies. Come on. The next day, we headed over to Homolovi 1, which is a mile northeast of the campground. Homolovi 1 is just above the Little Colorado River. Pottery here. People have found pieces and they lay them out on these rocks so they're easier to see. All these pieces of pottery are everywhere here, and many have been laid out on flat rocks to more easily examine and touch them. We were told by the ranger that it was just fine as long as we returned them to where we found them after. It is illegal to take anything you find here. More pottery, look at this. I'm just wondering, like, what did they use for paint that it lasted? For as many stones as you see scattered about here, we realized there were hundreds of rooms. So it became obvious that a lot of the stones have probably been carted off over the centuries to build elsewhere. There was a nearby Mormon settlement in the late 1800s, followed by the town of Winslow. This area was excavated by the archaeologists. After completion, they lined the walls with plastic and refilled the rooms with dirt in order to preserve and mark it for future exploration. Look at these pottery shards that I didn't necessarily find them. People found them before and put them out where you can see them. So a texture that they created out of clay. Look at that. For about $25 a night for spacious sites with electric and water, we found Homolovi State Park, a perfect base camp for exploring the area. Besides Meteor Crater and this state park, you're just 50 miles from the Painted Desert and Petrified Forest National Park entrances. And it's just 7 miles to go and stand on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. Within an hour drive, you can visit Flagstaff, as well as Walnut Canyon National Monument and Sunset Crater.
We really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you found it helpful, we'd really appreciate it if you'd share it with your friends and family on social media. And if you're not yet a subscriber, hit that subscribe button.
And ring that bell so you'll be notified whenever we release new content.
And make sure to leave a comment, that way you can be part of the conversation.
Until next time.
We'll see ya.
We'll see ya.